Hi there, and welcome to my channel. I am Ishani, and I am the owner of Habitual Rituals, where we aim to provide you with the tools and support you need to connect deeper with your own divinity. Today, we will be doing a reading for the collective to see what we need to hear at this time. As always, these messages are timeless, and any time that you find these messages, no matter how far into the future, there is something here for you. Take what you need and leave the rest for someone else. All right, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Let's go ahead and find out what do we need to hear at this time. The first set of cards we will be pulling are Lenormand cards, and they will be set up in a past, present, future spread. Okay. So first we have the Whip in reverse, the Woman standing in reverse, and the Stars in reverse. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab the clarifying cards. We'll be using the Miss Cleo Power Deck. One card for each of these to clarify. Please clarify the Whip in reverse. Clarifying the Whip, we have the Seven of Coins in reverse. Clarifying the Woman in reverse. Sorry. Okay. Clarifying the Woman, we have the Empress. Okay. The Empress upright. And clarifying the Stars in reverse, we have the Two of Cups in reverse. Okay. So, first, let's start with the Whip and the Seven of Coins. So, the Whip in the Lenormand deck represents this sense of repetition, this sense of self-discipline, the need to consistently and persistently perform or meet some sort of expectation, and needing, some sort of, motivation, typically an external motivation, in order to fulfill those expectations. Now, with this coming out in the reverse, this can potentially, for some people, represent this almost, it's an unhealthy sense of trying to create that motivation. For some people, we may have been potentially like almost being self-deprecating in order to motivate ourselves towards, fulfilling some of our goals. For example, we might be comparing ourselves to others and feeling as though because we're not as far ahead as someone else, we're going to use, that almost envy or that gap between us as our fuel, as our fire to work and, do the things that we need to do, check the things off our checklist, all these other things. And with the Seven of Coins coming out to clarify, the Seven of Coins is all about essentially being able to like balance all of your responsibilities and being able to like also in a sense, meet expectations, but being able to handle and carry the responsibility that you have, and being able to allow it, to, further improve your life, further just continuing on with, your day-to-day responsibilities, all of the resources that you have to juggle and sustain and everything like that. But also when it comes to the Seven of Coins, when it's upright, there is, on the image of the card, it does show like a little beetle in between the person's legs as they are carrying these 7 coins on their shoulders. And oftentimes when I interpret this card, I bring attention to the beetle because oftentimes there can be a very small like inconvenience or this small annoyance that can end up almost derailing or just like shaking up our entire foundation almost, or just get us out of our flow and rhythm to where we end up almost like dropping the ball on some of our responsibilities and resources as well. So there's always this almost like, just nudge or a wink of being mindful that, while you are carrying this, this heavy load that you have, and, all of the things that fall upon you and on your back, try not to allow any sort of minor inconveniences to, lead you or cause you to derail yourself or slow yourself down, and just kind of, mess up your flow, when it comes to, how you handle and how you continue to take care of yourself. Now, with this card coming out though in the reverse, for me, this is actually indicating that we have to bring more of our attention to whatever has been almost like nagging us or trying to hinder us when it comes to fulfilling our responsibilities, the things that we again expect of ourselves in order to continue to fulfill our purpose and to continue to provide for ourselves, there's something that has been nagging us, whether that be something external, like an actual person who has been just kind of, nitpicking in our energy, or just like heavily critiquing, our own pursuits and the ways in which we choose to, make our dreams come true. Or if it is, an internal thing where you find yourself having a lot of self-doubt and a lot of, negative self-talk around your ability to fulfill and meet your own expectations, and, following through with the things that you say that you're going to do, the things that you set yourself, your intentions to do. There's something that has been persistently, coming into almost interrupt, and cause some sort of disruption. And it's time for us to make time and to dedicate, energy to acknowledge and to actually get to the root of whatever it is that has been, just constantly trying to poke a hole, in our pursuits. Next, with the woman and the Empress in our like present energy, the woman card in the Lenormand can represent an actual, like, female person, or even just a feminine energy in a physical form, right? Now with the, in this particular deck, there are two, women cards. One of them is seated in like this royal regalia, clothing. The woman that we have currently is the standing woman. And, she's dressed, very casually, almost like she's dancing through, this hallway as she's just getting to where she needs to go. But with this card coming up in the reverse, this is telling me that there has been some sort of almost like a lack of grace that we have been giving ourselves, or even just, being able to embody a sense of grace when it comes to how we treat ourselves. With the Empress card clarifying the woman, this to me is saying that, we are we need to be able to connect with our sacral chakra, which is our our creativity center, our sensual energy, pleasure center, all of these things, because we deserve to feel good, and we deserve to feel like, we are taken care of and that we are provided for. And the thing is that with the woman in reverse, it's saying that we have been acting as though we don't deserve to, have any sort of pleasure, because we may, again, with the past energy that we have, because we haven't been meeting these expectations that we've set upon ourselves. And again, mainly because of the fact that there's some sort of limiting belief, there's some sort of subconscious behavior, some sort of self-sabotaging behaviors or even, again, other people externally trying to sabotage and intervene and just throw a wrench into what it is that we're doing. We are essentially like judging ourselves for, again, the lack of execution, while not acknowledging the fact that we are trying to work against all of these, ingrained subconscious beliefs and fears and doubts, or even, again, these other people who we may care about or who we may have close proximity to, who in their own beliefs and thoughts and, opinions and all of these things, we are equating that to like almost our own innate value. And of course, that is in no way, shape, or form like true, right? Because we are innately, with this Empress card, we are innately valuable. We are innately, inherently, worthy and deserving of what makes us happy, what makes us feel good, what makes us feel fulfilled emotionally, especially, right? So I do like the fact that with the Empress card, literally so far in this spread, is the only card that came out right side up. So for me, this is saying that like we heavily need to be, tapping into our divine feminine energy, which of course everyone has, which is simply just our energy to, or our ability to receive, being able to be open and vulnerable, but with strength, with like, with respect, with dignity, with integrity, with all of these things, that we are born with. And it's just about us, again, embodying that and remembering that we have all of that within us, and then in our future position, we have, again, the stars in the reverse with the Two of Cups in the reverse. Now, when I first saw this, I thought of a potential like relationship that you have been desiring, or that could potentially already be in your life, but that has had some sort of, challenges surrounding it, and not having the highest hopes, or the, again, these expectations, but like not being able to like see where this relationship or where this connection is going, or whether or not it can even get to like where you would want it to go, where it would be healthy, all of these things. But also, though, outside of potentially, again, this relating to an actual relationship, right, or a connection between you and another, I feel like also this can pertain to simply having a sense of pessimism, surrounding whether or not you will be able to ever feel emotionally stable. That might be heavy for a lot of people. But like by that, what I mean is, and this is on point for me too. I'm not even gonna lie. Like this is this is quite personal for me as well. But what I mean is being in a point in your life where you no longer have these super highs and super lows. Now, granted, some people might be bipolar. I am. But I'm not talking about, necessarily the highs and lows of like mania and depression. That's not what I'm referring to. What I'm referring to is like the emotional like intensity of a situation. For example, if you have been dealing with, a stressful situation for a very, very long time, and you've just been in survival mode for, like a majority of your life, or even just a majority of this period in time of your life. And then there are other moments where it feels as though the intensity is so low that it feels as though you're stagnant. It feels as though you're not making any sort of progress. It feels as though you aren't, really engaging with people. You aren't really, you aren't really experiencing or feeling any sort of true connection or community, any sort of like intimacy with people. It's about feeling as though we'll never just be stable, just content, just even keel, right? Like, but the thing is, and I feel like from the oracle cards, as well as the final takeaway message, I believe that we will receive, some additional guidance, some additional encouragement around how we can switch or tap into more of an optimistic, and hopeful and, excited and just pursuant. Is that a word? But just feeling like we actually can achieve that, and feeling like, we are ready to do what we can in order to achieve that. So let's go ahead and just get the final takeaway from the base of this reading, and then we're going to pull the oracle cards and finish off with which typically I would do first, but we're going to finish off with the personal and universal chakras for the collective, whatever energy centers we need to tap into when it comes to this present energy, right? So first, let's go ahead, final takeaway. What is the final takeaway for the collective? Okay. No more shuffling. Okay. Final takeaway, we have the Chariot in the reverse. The Chariot card is a card of victory. It's a card of success, right? It's a card of fast movement. It's like, it's shooting for the stars and like taking off in a rocket. But the thing is, though, with it coming out in the reverse, it's this self inhibition like this self blockage. We're slowing ourselves down through our mental restrictions, through our mental limitations that we've been placing upon ourselves, or that we have been internalizing from others, that we've been receiving from others, right? But there comes a time, right, where we need to make that choice for ourselves and to shift the way that we think about our dreams and our ability, our capability to achieve them. And it's like, as soon as we unlock that, as soon as we clear that, then things start to run a whole lot smoother. Things start to shift a whole lot faster. But it's like we have to be ready, for that ride. We gotta strap in. All right, let's go ahead. We are going to pull from the angelic vibrations first, right? Yes, they are. Okay. So, what message from our angels do we need at this time? There we go. These are kind of very shiny. So like the friction on them is a little funny. Just one last shuffle. That's all I need, just one. Okay. Come on now. It's just so not pretty. The other two shuffled a whole lot prettier, but it's okay. It's not the angel's fault. All right. So, kindness with the number 9. We have to extend kindness to ourselves, right? We have to be kind to ourselves. Give yourself a break. Like, geez, It's like you are not I don't want to get in trouble with YouTube or any other platform, but I was just gonna say, you are not the piece of poop, that you might think that you are. You are so much more than the stressful circumstances that you have been in. You are so much more than the than the opinions of others who have never gone through what you've gone through, or who have never even conceived the ideas that you've conceived, who hasn't even been called in the way that you have been called. You have to give yourself that kindness. You have to give yourself that love, right? Because if you continue, if we continue to speak to ourselves that way, to think about our dreams and our aspirations in that way, thinking that we're not deserving, thinking that they're too far out of reach, thinking that everybody else can do it except for us because what? We're so special that we're the only one who can't succeed. We're so blessed and highly favored that we're the only ones in our friend group who can't consistently pay their rent on time. You know, Spirit wants to acknowledge these circumstances, these stressful circumstances, right? And they want you to acknowledge that these circumstances do not define who you are. Yes, they are hard. Yes, they may make you cry. Yes, they may make you feel like you're broken. However, you're not broken. It's not you. Like, there's a level of like severing that needs to be done around, again, like our belief of ourself around, or being, again, influenced or defined by our circumstances. So let's get to the next one. So next we're pulling from the Gateway of Light Activation deck. Oh yeah. See, like the matte cards, they just shuffle so much smoother. All right, we received karmic board clearing, energetic clearing, rewrite your story, live your truth. Now, it did get pulled in the reverse, okay? I do want to say that. But this is, these are instructions that we are being given, right? We need to clear our energy. We need to restore our own essence, our own vibration. We need to remove and clear any sort of influences, any sort of icky, sticky goo, any sort of anything that may not be ours, or anything that is ours, but that is icky, yucky, blucky, and we don't want it no more, and we're going to go ahead and let it go. Hold on one second. I got to get this fly. I got it. But there's some rewriting that we need to do. We need to rewrite our almost like entire belief system. Now, yes, that sounds daunting, but literally it's just picking out those negative and limiting beliefs. What thoughts or beliefs do you have around your own success, your ability to succeed, that are unrealistic, that are unfair, that are, moving the goalpost? And we have to replace them, right? We have to replace them with what is going to fuel us in a healthy way. What's going to give us that spark in a healthy way, right? Lastly, let's go ahead and pull from the spell casting deck. Ooh, yes. Did you hear that? Yes. Okay, last shuffle. Make it count. Yes. Okay. From the spell casting deck, we have... Okay. Answers. Ooh, okay. Now, I do want to read from the deck of this one really fast. But what I'm getting from Answers, now this did come out right side up, okay? With Answers, what I'm getting is that we will be receiving a whole lot more clarity, like once we get through this period, this process of finding and rewriting those limiting beliefs. Because once we, get to the core and identify them, even that in and of itself is providing us with the answers of why it has been so hard for us to stay committed, why it has been so hard for us to, pursue our dreams regardless of how passionate, how much we yearn for it, how much we dream about it, see about it, all of these things, it's going to provide us with those answers and clarity as to why it hasn't happened yet for us, right? Okay. So first with answers, it says magical guidance. You already know the answers to your questions, so why do you pursue the opinions of others? It's time to trust as you journey to the dark chambers within and boldly ask for the truth to be revealed to you. As the answers shine forth, you'll find all the advice and knowledge that you need at this time. There's no need to seek the approval of anyone else, for the answers are all around. So keep a keen lookout for signs and signals from the natural and mystical world as messages appear to you through cloud formations, falling feathers, and the dream time. Now this does also say, I was going to say the spell. It says to take a book such as a dictionary on a Sunday during a waxing crescent moon and say, no solution to the tasks, details hidden, who to ask. Wisdom's found deep inside, higher self's the perfect guide. Question posed upon closed book. Open up and take a look. Random words for one to gauge. Answer found now on that page. The page the book is open at will reveal wisdom in the answer you're looking for. Now say, gratefully I accept the magic of you, of protection to assist in all that I do. Lend me the courage, build power in me, assist my transcendence, so mote it be. Okay, so that is what I received from the cards. The very, very, very last thing that we will be doing is rolling our 12-sided die. I have two 12-sided die. One represents our personal energy, our personal chakra, the energy center within our own auric field that is in need of attention at this time, and the universal chakra, which is the universal energy that the universe is tapping into when it comes to how it interacts with us, okay? So let's go ahead and find out. Hold on, let me switch hands. What are the universal and personal chakras of this collective at this time? You're not gonna believe this, but we got the 9th chakra for both. Now you might be saying, what's the 9th chakra? So the 9th chakra is located in arm's length above your head, above the crown chakra, right? Now, the 9th chakra is essentially your connection to universal consciousness, universal divine consciousness. Honestly, what I'm getting, right, from this showing up as both our personal and universal chakras is that we need to actually connect to the bigger picture when it comes to our goals, when it comes to our dreams, when it comes to our calling, our purpose. There is a greater, plan at play here. There is a greater scheme at play here when it comes to the shift in the world that is needed, right? There is a reason why there are so many of us at this point in time, at this stage in history, where we are waking up to our true purpose, where we are waking up to our true calling, where we are acknowledging and identifying and discovering all of the spiritual gifts, all of the talents and skills that we have, all of the abilities that we have. and the unique experience and the unique energy that we are able to, speak to or provide, and offer. With it coming up as the universal chakra as well, like, this is, to me, this is like a full stamp of we're here, like eye to eye. The universe is saying that as long as you connect with me, I am directly connected to you. As soon as you think of something, I will bring it forth into your physical. Like, the signs and synchronicities, like, are going to be on. Pew. Like, that's just so wild to me that they both came out that way. Yeah, in the times where we feel as though we are small, where we feel as though we are alone, where we're isolated, take the time to pray to not only your ancestors, not only your higher self, not only to your higher power, to your creator, but to, honestly, all of it, to the universe. Connect with all of it, because you are a part. You are a piece of all of it. And because you are a piece of all of it is already in you too. What came to mind is like the infinity symbol. Just like really, 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 really feel that, and just like know that, right? Like, know that you are a part of something so, so much greater. There is a reason that you are here. Okay? So that's all that I have for you. That is all for this reading. Thank you so much for watching. And if you haven't already, please like this video and subscribe to my channel to receive some more collective readings. If you're ever interested in your own personal reading, find me on my website at attention2intention.com and book me for a written reading starting at just $5.55. You can find all the links that you need down in the description, and I am wishing you health, wealth, and happiness. Peace.